Time for what?
Time for what?
Experience in college.
Time for reinforcement.
Time for liftoff!
Welcome to College for All, where nothing is impossible unless you think it is impossible.
College.
My college scholarship.
Yes. Boom.
College ran by real fast.
You hung in with the best college.
First time for everything.
Well, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Let's do this thing.
Genius, let's do this thing!
Welcome to the show, everyone, and get your engines ready. Ready or not, here comes your UC application. And once again, everyone, we are so happy to have Isabel with us, who just started her UC application, which opens up August 1st for all the new applicants for the fall. So how's it going, Isabel?
It is going great.
Okay, now tell me, how is the UC application at universityofcalifornia.edu/apply going great for you?
It is super smooth and it's really easy for me to understand and figure out what I need to do to apply.
Now, one of the things about the UC application is a lot of people are always like, okay, what do I need to prepare? So what do you feel that like the bare basics that you need when you just start the application? Not finish, just start.
So yeah, for me, to start the application, I needed to know some information, some personal things about myself and about my family, all the regular things like your address and all of that information you need to know. But I also had to know kind of an idea about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to major in.
Yeah, so so there sometimes become some stumbling blocks, right? Like, wait, what's my parent or guardian job title? How many years were they on there? Wait, do I put my nickname or my legal name? And yes, talk about majors, right? So, you have to pick your 9 out of your 10 UC campuses. But how was the major selection going for you? Because do they seem all the same at each UC campus?
So, yeah, the majors are actually pretty different. They offer totally different things at each of the 4 campuses that I am applying to. One of the things that I noticed was that it's really helpful to go on another source and really look deeper into each major because some of them don't disclose the specifics.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times it's really hard because people would think one political science major is the same as another, or one bio major is the same as another campus. And then if you go deeper into the course catalog to see what actual classes you have to take, or what the mission statement, like I think you found some that guaranteed you doing an internship like in DC, getting college credit, and then other ones that were super science focused and other ones were not, and they were the exact same title and a major, right? Just different campuses. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
So if you didn't know that ahead of time, how would you tell a friend to prepare for that, whether they're applying to a UC or another college?
So I would just tell them to wait, not submit anything, and make sure that they do their research before choosing majors. Make sure to take notes of which ones that you're interested in, but then to go back and research and make sure you know everything there is to know because some of the majors might not be what they seem.
Yeah, and I think also what's really good too, which, a little bit later on before one submits, is use ratemyprofessor.com to see like, hey, are these incredible professors that teach this department or so-so? Or looked on LinkedIn to see, hey, kids who are now adults who major in this, what type of careers, right? Because like, where is the networking that's available? Now, this sounds all too positive, Isabel. Where were the stumbling blocks on starting the application? And again, we're just talking about we've just done like the demographics, the college, right? So what were the stumbling blocks besides the majoring specific stuff for your parents?
So, yeah, totally. So my major confusion with the UC application process that I picked today is when it came to choosing my colleges, as in for San Diego State, UC San Diego. It was really about which college that I wanted to choose inside the campus or as a part of the campus. And you really had to do your own research about which college was the best and everything that they offer as far as classes, as far as location, and as far as what the dorms look like.
Yeah, no, I think that is so confusing. There is a website for those of you who are applying to UC San Diego called compare.ucsd.edu, which I think is the one that most people really enjoy. And the only other campus out of the UCs that does this is UC Santa Cruz. But the nice thing about UC Santa Cruz, you don't have to pick your colleges until after you get accepted and after you decide to enroll, which to me makes more sense. I think that makes more common sense. Now you took a break on your UC application, and we're getting ready to the academic review section. Tell me, what was your first thoughts when you looked at the academic review area?
So my first thought was being a little bit concerned about where my GPA is going to put me, and just figuring out all these answers to these questions, because some of it is asking about my middle school courses that I took. And so I'm probably going to have to look through some of my old transcripts and figure out what exactly I took.
Yeah, so for you Californians, do know that you have an A to G list from your high school. So you want to just put UCOP for University of California Office of the President, A to G list, and look up those courses. And yeah, Isabel's right. The UC system wants to know your 7th and 8th grade math or languages, because if you took Algebra 1 or higher in middle school, or you took a language, guess what? You get course credit known as the A to G list. But Isabel, did you know that the UC system, all 9 of them, start calculating your GPA in 10th and 11th grade only?
I had heard some things about how my 10th and 11th grade grades are going to be the one that matters, to college and for college applications, but I didn't really know that was all that they were going to pay attention to.
Well, they'll look at all your courses, but the GPA number, when they do the math, is those A to G courses that is listed and approved in 10th and 11th grade. So because of that, a lot of students think senior year doesn't count. It's like, no. They are assuming you would still do the same quality work. What sucks is when students do so much better in senior year, they're like, okay, recalculate my GPA. And the UCs are like, we don't do that. You have to get denied and then maybe get appealed, but less than 1% people get in through appeal, and that's no joke. So they do look at everything, right? Making sure you pass everything with a C or higher. And one of the things that they recommend is get your transcript, right? I think you read, they don't want you to go from memory. Because, do you remember all your classes in 7th grade?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I think if I had to rank order the hardest to the easiest section of the application, is the hardest is literally, I would say, that with the most mistakes, is the academic review. So many students miss a class, maybe are going to take 4 years of English, but they forget to put in English their senior year because it's it doesn't count. It's oh my God, no, you still need to show that. Then all those statements you have to write. A lot of students said that's harder, but I'm talking about also mistakes. And then the easiest part, of course, is submitting. So do you remember when's the earliest you could submit your UC application?
I believe it is November 1st.
Yeah, and the deadline to submit is November 30th. But I tell everyone, submit by Turkey Day so you don't become a turkey over the break. And one thing is, didn't you write down a special phone number to get help on the UC application from actual human beings?
Yes, I did.
Do you have that number handy on you?
Yes, I believe that I do. Let me look real quick. Yeah, within the U.S., the number is 800-207-1710.
One more time.
800-207-1710.
Yeah, and there's also an email address, an international. So there are office hours starting now to help you in all your UC application from people who are trained from the UC system. So use that help. Listen in to our podcast as we keep on following this incredible journey that Isabel is sharing with us. And then how are you feeling just overall knowing hey, UC applications are up. It's right past August 1st. Common App's coming up. How do you feel right now as a senior before school start, but all these applications are up and ready to go?
It's making me really nervous, and it's making me feel even more unprepared than I already felt. Like, I feel like I need to really start pumping out these essays and really getting ready for all of the deadlines that I have coming up.
Well, I have some good news and some bad news for you, Isabel. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so the good news, I've had students through the years who've been like, oh, I'm all ready. All my essays are done and everything. And then midway, like they're on the wait list or the college will contact them, something's incomplete. No one ever feels completely ready. If anything, one thing for sure, it feels so amazing when you press submission, right? I literally, like when people do that with me, I do a drum roll and we all cheer just to submit. It's such a feeling. And then the bad news, which I'm going to end with the good news, is that, yeah, it's a lot of hard work. This is more work than anyone else. It's also a confusing time through everyone else. And I think one of the key things that's important is to surround yourself with loved ones, with your assets, of your friends and everyone. And if someone feels like more of like a liability, like they're telling you where to apply or they're telling you rumors are not to be there, just to say, you know what, I need a break. Or do you have suggestions when people need a break, whether it be from wonderful family members or friends or just the neighbor next door?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get everything done and out of the way and not feel like I'm behind. Yeah. But sometimes I have to admit that I do need a brain break and I need to pause from all of this college stuff. Yeah. Though, if anything, during this pandemic has showed that taking care of your mental health is so key, and then sometimes when we have a time to pause and reflect, we could power on, but you don't have to do it on your own. So with that, let's just take a pause. We'll come back with more podcast shows for you, listening to this college journey. And remember, everyone, talk to a friend to debrief. Speak to your family, how they could support you more in this process. Go ask people in your school for help. If there's no one there giving you the right answers, remember there are people at the colleges who are ready to help you, also on social media and outlets, and just go for it. Remember, your dreams are possible because nothing's impossible unless you think it's impossible. Isabel, on that note, are you ready for your break? I am ready for my break.
All right, Isabel. Everyone, thanks for signing on. Big thanks again to Isabel. Huge shout out to our producer, Fonseca. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to College for All. We hope you enjoyed our podcast and learned that college is an opportunity you can reach. Use this information, and you can find out even more on our website at college4all.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at college4allamv. Thank you for listening, and until our next podcast, don't forget, nothing is impossible unless you think it is impossible.